Now, a new underwear company aims to be Africa's first premium skin-colored underwear brand. The company was started by Gugu Nkabinde, who says she wanted to give confidence to women who felt underrepresented in the shades of underwear that were there. She joins me in studio now. Thanks so much for your time on SABC News. What type of research and what went into starting your company?
So after having identified the need myself, I think that
less than what, 40%?
was when I personally needed the product and had been in a position where I was quite uncomfortable, having to layer on a hot day to avoid my underwear being seen when I was presenting in a room. I was prompted to ask more women in the advertising agency space where I worked what they actually did to solve the problem. Not at any point did I think that I would be starting an underwear range. But in hearing how women were actually buying an additional piece of clothing to counter this problem made me realize that the underwear should be the solution.
Okay, your pricing, I've gone onto your beautiful website, your pricing is about 900 Rand or so a set. If I'm a South African consumer and I'm deciding what to do to spend with my money, why would I choose Gugu Intimates over an established brand?
So one of the beauties of having been a South African consumer who created the brand was that I also looked at the fact that we were buying something else to counter the problem of underwear bleed through with clothing. So it was already something that we were spending money, and in not your very average retail stores. We're going into a Zara, into a Mango to find a seamless top in which to layer with. So one of the things that I am proud to have been was the first to identify that brown skin tones are not represented in the term nude, which actually means bare and close to your skin tone. So one, it is a first. It counters a real cosmetic and confidence problem for women. And also that you can then avert having to buy other things in which to layer your clothing with.
What business lessons have you learned so far with Gugu Intimates?
I think one of the most top of mind ones for me now is to pivot as quickly and as often as you can. And by that, I mean, I've had to deal with, for example, understanding the price point where in the beginning the underwear was sold as a set, and understanding that sometimes the consumer and the way that we shop is that we sometimes buy the bra first and then we'll buy the undie to counter that pain of what we have to spend for good quality underwear, which, by the way, is the average pricing within your good quality underwear stores. The other thing I've had to pivot on was my sales strategy. It was an online store, but understanding that we haven't been exposed to this, we don't know how to shop it. I've partnered with retailers, non-traditional retailers, who are already having hordes of women coming in to either do makeup or nails, beauty, and hair, and actually merchandising my product there because they are actually not yet aware that the solution exists. And this is something I've had to do quite quickly. We're already in 3 stores after our official launch a month and a half ago.
Retail is difficult, even more difficult now perhaps because South Africa is in a technical recession. What are you going to do to counter it and ensure that your brand does get out there and people are spending on it even though there's a tough economic time?
So, I mean, the one thing that gave me the confidence to go into underwear was that it is a staple. Outside of everything that you can choose not to spend money on, it is a garment for women that we don't quite always have a choice whether to wear or not to wear. And unfortunately so, in your lower income markets, the solutions that then become are not quite viable. They don't leave women feeling very confident. So one of the other things that I have in mind is to extend the range, one, to not just have a premium, affordable premium luxury brand, but as we grow our volumes, we are able to then work with better margins to offer to our investors and be able to provide an entry-level range that allows women who also have the same need as we do, who afford more expensive underwear. So that's one of the other things. And the other is that underwear and undergarments are a broad spectrum. There is the bra, the traditional bra and the undie, but we know that with your African shape and African skin tone, there are more cosmetic and fashion needs that we have for underwear to be closer to our skin tone. So I plan to always be on the cusp of innovation and to be sure that we keep all sides of the market covered with an affordable range.
Gugu Nkabinde, thanks so much for your time.